Hey, welcome back. Well, we've come a long way in building the front-end dialog for our show sheet. So essentially we have our show sheet, we're going to hit manage, hit search shows, and the dialog will appear. And right now we are working locally on our computer to create the show sheet here before we push it back up into Google Apps Script and connect it to our Google Sheets, which we'll do in this session. We have created basically our UI. We've turned a few things off at the moment because we're in the process of connecting, but we also need to get some sample data to test this out before we move and migrate this over. So that's where we're at the moment. Now, this is probably not the best tutorial to start afresh. If you want to start from somewhere, start at the previous one on session 4. But if you do want to start from this spot or you want to start from a clean slate, there is a link in the description below for the starter sheet for this session. You'll find the script code that you'll have to copy and paste and work on offline, like I am here. Now, my current environment is Sublime Text, and I have a live server running to have auto updates on the sidebar here. Let's get started. So we want to generate some sample code to fill out this list here when we do a search, right? So let's go ahead and do that. And we've already generated this back in our script. So we're going to head back to Google Apps Script here. And I'm just going to expand this so we get the sidebar, and we want to go into maybe our tests and we'll do a search. So let's do the Mr. Robot one and just get everything that returns from Mr. Robot. So go up here and we've already got it selected, so we'll just hit run. Nice. And it's given us 2 shows. Yeah, that should be okay. But we want to do some pagination too, don't we? We want to have a bit more information there. Let's just go robot. And hit run. It exceeds our limit. That's okay. What we might do now is I'm going to close this to give us some space. Const folder D. It's going to be equal to, and just select a folder ID, or you can put it on your base drive if you want. But we're going to export it as a text file. So I'm just going to get a grubby old testing ID here. You'll have to add in your own. And we'll say const folder equal to drive app, get folder by ID, folder ID. And then we want to say folder, then we want to grab the file ID, file URL. So const file URL is equal to folder.createFile. So they create file. There's a couple of ways of doing this. We can create a blob name and then string content. That might be best. Let's just call that shows data.txt. And the string content is just going to be our JSON stringify thingy up here. Let's just copy and paste that. Nice. And then we just want to return. Oh, we don't want to return. We just want to get the URL. If we don't have it, we can't find it, can we? It will be challenging to find. Let's console log that. Log file URL. Hit save. Cool. Let's hit run. Nice. We've got a URL. Just going to open that up on the side here and bring it over for you. Sweet. So as you can see here, we've got our awesome little file URL. We could grab that separately and do some fetching in JavaScript, but let's keep things simple. We're just going to collect all this. I'll see, and I'm going to delete it, and then I'm going to put this down the bottom here. And this is going to be what we return here. So let's just say on our insertSearchResults, we're going to get something. So we'll call this an event const. It just shows data for now. And that's going to be equal to what we just copy and pasted. Yeah. Nice. So that's all it did. This will be deleted at the end, of course. So we have this function here, which is our search show. So it's gone through, it's grabbed our data from here, and it's plugged it in and gone through the API, and it's consumed that information. And then when it's found all the robot information, it's going to spit this out for the time being. So what we want to do here is just comment this one out for the time being. And we'll just say a test that says insert search results. And that's going to be shows data. We should JSON stringify that because that's how we're going to get it. Stringify shows data. There it is there. Much better. Okay. So I suppose we can create the insert search shows, hey? All right, so let's put this one below here. And we'll say function, insert search results. That's going to take an event. And that event we are going to convert to data. So const data is going to be equal JSON dot pass the event. That's going to be fed up from our Google Apps Script. And then let's just console log that. Well, we'll just put that here and say data. And this should tell us what we got here. So if I put anything in here to F12 that has a value, we could say chicken, for example. Oh, search text is not found. It's because at this stage we haven't converted it to text. We could probably do that. It's probably a good idea, just in case someone's put 007 in, for example. So we've got search input here. Search input the value. Let's change this here. We'll say const search text. It's equal to basically this, right? Hit control, copy this, place this. We should be cruising now. Hi. Okay, so that's come up, but we didn't get our shows data yet. Let's double check our payload as well. Console.log payload. Go hi again. Short. Hit enter. Oh, it's because we're missing messages. Oh, there we go. It was all there all along. Okay, so yes, all our data is appearing how we like it. Got all our responses and all our results. Fantastic. Now we can work with this information, which is good. Let's move this up a little bit. Nice. Keep that there. Okay, so next we need to get our location here, this results wrapper location up here. So I think it's called results wrapper. Let's go have a bit of a look. Results wrapper here. Nice. And then inside each one, we've got a result ID just like this here. Okay, so why don't we just grab this all the way down to here. Just copy it down here so we can work and see what we're doing. And we'll put it inside this function. We'll just comment that out. Otherwise it will yell at us. I think. There we go. Happy times. Okay, so let's go const results wrapper is equal to document get element by ID, and that's going to be the results wrapper. Is it that one? Yeah, it's the second one, isn't it? There we go. Okay, so if it's back an error, so you can see here in our logs we do have an error array, so we want to check to see if there's an error that came up from here that didn't throw an actual coding error. It was something that came back in the API that was an error, so we need to display that first above all else. So we will say if, and we need to get the data, so data.error it looks like here. So if we go data.error, and so if it exists, and then and data.error.length does not equal 0, then we're going to do a const error message equal to, let's make a list item. Oh, how do we do our errors again? Let's have a look down here. Errors in an array. So we can say, let's go, so how about we change this? We'll go const errors equals data.error. Yeah, we're cooking. We'll replace this. Okay, cool. And then we know that should be an array based on this here. So we generate it. So we can say errors.map error, little arrow function here, and we'll go return, and we'll do some backticks here. We'll go list item li $, error, and then I close that. Nice. Okay, and then let's put that in a message. So, and in the error div. So let's go const error diff is equal to, do some backticks again, say diff class equals errors. I'm going to say on a paragraph. Now you can do the DOM completion for all these things as well. I think for this case it's easier doing it this way with a string. The following errors were encountered, and then say we'll do an ordered list in which we will add our list of error messages. Oh, we should make that an S. Make that an S. There we go. Close that bad boy off. There we go. Nice. And let's close the div off. We are good. And then results wrapper in a HTML equal to our error diff. Then we would toggle the loading overlay, do not do it anymore, and then return. Don't have to do anything else after that, do we? Okay, I think we're cool here. Let's put an error in. This is error 1, error 2. Okay. Nice. Let's go robot. Results wrapper isn't defined. 455. Spelling mistake. Lie. Oh, must have had something strange in the text that did that. Oh, we didn't close that div, did we? Probably half our problem. Okay, let's go high again. No, so silliness. Okay, we've got a comma here and we are silly for it because we need to. Then join. Let's just join a new line. Hit save. Go hi. All right, our list is built. Might need to do some formatting for our error list though. Let's create an error class in our conditional formatting. Alrighty. Put it down the bottom here. And we will say errors. I want color to be like a red. It's like a A10606. Nice. Blood red. And then errors.li for the list items. So it pushes it all over to the right a bit. We'll give it 1 EM. Oh, margin left 1 EM. Save. Okay. Oh, look at that. Lovely. Error. The following errors were encountered. Error 1, error 2. Cool. Let's get rid of those errors and move on. All right. Okay. So if there are no errors, we're going to start setting things up. And here's where we're going to set up our previous and next buttons to appear and disappear. So here we're going to say page element set previous and next buttons. You know why? Because we don't need them. If we just have one page of data, like if I did that Mr. Robot with 2 data elements, we don't need pagination, do we? Const page element is equal to document dot get element by ID. And I believe that's called page if we go up the top. Yeah, so this overarching page here is what we want. So that's a span that tells how many pages of how many. And then we'll have total pages, which is this one. And then we also want next page button. Oh, next page button. Let's change that while we're here. That'd be embarrassing, wouldn't it? Okay. So page, const, total, page, total page element, get element by ID, and total pages. Yeah. Then const next page button. I think it's next page BT. We'll call it BTN element. Is equal to document dot get element by ID next page button. and then previous page element can be equal to document get element by ID, previous page element. This one here, yeah. Cool. All right, so we've got all our page buttons that we need. Fortunately for us, we also have pages here, so we can say page 1, page 2, right? So we can access this information to tell us where we are. So let's do that now. So we can say const response, or RESP for response, going to be equal to data RESP. Say const total pages equal to RESP dot total pages. And now, if you remember all the way back to last tutorial, one of the very first things we did was create some session storage setup here. So that's what we're going to use now to store our sessions by page. So whenever we want to go to the next page of data that we retrieve from the API, it's going to load from the API. But if we want to go back, we want to keep the previous bit of information because we don't want to bother the TMDB database unnecessarily. And it's just a faster experience for people. So let's do that. Okay. So session storage, let's set an item. And we'll do some back ticks here. And the set item is going to take two things, the key and then the value, both as strings, which is great. So the first one is going to be the sesh dot result page. If you remember, it's going to look like this, and then we're going to give it a number as well because we're going to have multiple versions of this as we build our pages out, right? So, and then we'll go $page, and then that's still in a string, and then we just want to stringify the results. So JSON stringify the data dot response. It's just called response in it. Now we also want to set the page, so we're going to say session storage again dot set item. We can say sesh this time dot page, and that's just going to equal the page. Then session storage dot set item again, and we're going to get the total number of pages we have. And as I said, response and total pages is here, and that comes in down the bottom here. So it's identified in the TMDB database. It just tells us how many pages there are and how many results. So here we go. Sesh again dot total pages, comma total pages. Sweet. Wonderful. So that will store that every time the window dialog will load up afresh. And then if we go ask for another page, it will add it on. So for example, if we go console.log session storage, see what the results would be. We go high again. So our query loaded is high. We did that before. We've got our page information here. Let's expand this out a bit. Total pages is 9. Okay, so this is producing an object here. We don't really want this. We just want the results. So, because we haven't created pages at all. So we've got total pages, but we didn't add in pages. We're silly. Okay, so we're going to say const page equal to response dot page. See how that works now. There. Okay, our page is there, total page is there, and then we've got a stringified version of all the data. Good times. Okay, so let's start building out some things. So we want to add to this page element here, and we want to put in the page number and add it to that. So we'll say page dot page element dot inner text is equal to page, and then total page element dot inner text is equal to our total pages. Cool. Nice. So nice. 1 of 9. Perfect. And then we want to hide pages as we need them. Okay, so we'll say if total pages is equal to 1, then our next page button element, oh, what happened there? Page button element is going to be hit and that will be equal to true. Okay, and we're going to do the same again. But this will be for the previous, because we don't want the previous either. Nice. And then else if the page equals now, so it's different to total pages, is else if the page is equal to 1. We don't want the previous page button, we just want the next page button, right? So I'll copy this again, and we just want hidden for the next page to be false and the previous page to be true. I'm going to do this again. And now if we say if the page equals the total pages, then we want the opposite to occur. So we want this to be true for the next page, and then we want the previous one to be false. And then else, it's somewhere in the middle, so both should be false. Nice. Go to, we just type in some stuff here. We've got 1 of 9 here, and just the one page button, press it going to the right. Excellent. Let's just get that toggle loading overlay out of the way. Okay. So, blah, blah, blah. Good. Goes this way. Doesn't do anything at the moment. That's fine. Let's change our value here to page 2. Save. Do some more. Okay, it's in the showing it's in the middle. 494 total pages. There we go. Silliness. Okay, let's try that again. Let's go blah, blah, blah. Okay, now it's showing it's in the middle. It's going to go left and right. No worries. And now let's check the last page, which is of 9. So let's call this number 9. Save. And now it's telling us to go. We can only go left. Okay, functionality success. Okay, so our next task is to add in our results. Okay, so what do we need to do here? First, we need to add in this image programmatically. So we need to grab the image URL to build this out, and we should be able to find this down the bottom here. Here, so it's called image URL. Nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So const image URL is going to be equal to response dot image URL, and then we want our responses from our results. So not just we want this results bit here. So let's just say perhaps const results equals RSP dot results. And now we need to check if there are any results. If not, we'll just let them know that, hey, couldn't find any. So we'll say if responses dot length is equal to 0, then we'll throw back a message saying results wrapper dot inner HTML equals a little paragraph tag, no results found for the current search. Cool. All right, let's see if we can simulate that by just changing, or add another results here that equal nothing. Put this down to page 1, which is okay. It'll tell us there's a page 9, but that's all right. And we'll just call this SS for results. What we need a comma here will yell at us. Let's put in some stuff. Oh, it's not responses, it's results. Okay, do it again. No results found for the current search. Hey, that's looking all right. All right, let's undo this. Bring back that S. Cool. So we've handled that as well. All right, so now we need to set the values in this div here. Okay, so let's now iterate over all of our results, and we're going to create our results class with those IDs and fill this out basically. So let's go const results item. It's going to be equal to results dot reduce, and then we're going to use reduce because we want to create a string. So we're going to declare how it's starting, and we'll say we need an accumulator, and we need the response, say resp here, and then our magic little function here. Need a comma there. Okay, so let's get our image. So const image is equal to the response poster path. No, we didn't put an arrow function in here. Silly us, something weird was happening. Okay, now we're cooking. And then we want to create the results div. So const results div is going to be equal to, let's get some backticks going. First thing we want is this, and then we're going to replace our ID with our response ID. And we're going to add this, next, no change. Then we want our image, but this time with our image, we've already got it. So all we need to do here is add in image. Okay, image is done. Then we want the button. No change to the button. And we want to close that div. Then we want to open the next div, which is result details. And then we've got a header tag. And that's going to change. So the result will now be the response name. And then we want the first add. Just this one. Okay, first add. And we've got the date there. So let's replace that with response. First add date. Then we've got our overview data. So let's put that in that p tag here. Overview data. And let's close that p tag while we're here. And that's going to contain response. If we look down, it says overview. Nice. Then I'm going to put in our read more button. This one here. Then we'll close everything off, don't we? There we go. So that div is for that one. This div is for this outer div. These two divs meet up. This div is the outer div. Let's just have a quick look. So it does the ID, results image div, results details, button, that one, and back to the so that one is related to this, and then we've got the outer div there which closes it off. Okay, so image, what's this outer one's for the result wrapper, so I don't think I need that one. Bit carried away there. Okay, and then I'm going to say accumulator. We're going to add to the accumulator each iteration with the result div, and then we're going to return the accumulator. Save, and then we're going to say results wrapper dot inner HTML is equal to results. Yep, and then what else have we got? We need to set the add button listener for all the results now. Toggle the read more button to off, and then toggle the load more overlay to off. And I think we're just about done. Okay, let's put in some junk. Let's have another. Oh, there's There's the other instance of the spinner, cheeky. Okay, let's have another go. Oh, object, not good. Let's have a look at what's going on the inside. Oh, because it's results. We want the results item. Okay, blah, blah, blah. That's pretty good. Our image isn't connecting though, so... Oh, because we haven't added these two together. Okay, so do that plus that. Let's see what that results in. Ah, excellent. Good times. Okay, so it's our first page done. Okay, so this is now done. We've completed our insert search results. Our next task is we're going to use this again, but we want to be able to handle this and do the same or similar thing when we go from page to page. So let's create a page, a next page function and a previous page function. We can also get rid of this now. So we've created all that gloriousness. Okay, so let's go function, next page. And I believe the top here, let's have a look at our pages. Yeah, so we've got next page and previous page there. So there are our functions, no worries. Cool, so we may as well make the function previous page as well. And what do we want to do here? So first we want to, if we click the next page, this button here, we want to toggle our overlay because it's probably going to do some thinking, right? Okay, and we want two conditions. So if we click the next page and that page we've already loaded, we just want to grab it from our session information. But if we haven't, then we need to make a call and grab that from the API and basically our Google Apps Script backend. So let's go const page is equal to pass. We're going to pass the integer of our session storage. So if you remember down here, and we want to get the page. So session storage dot get item, and it's going to be sesh dot page. Cool. And we also want to get the total pages. So const, and that's for us to check. Hey, if we click, we're on page 9, and we click next for some reason, our buttons didn't work the way we expected them to. We want it to go, oi, you've done something crazy, coconuts. Total pages is equal to, pass an integer again, pass int session storage dot get item sesh dot total pages. And then we're going to declare what the next page is. So we'll say const next page is equal to the current page from our session plus 1. So, like we said, we're going to say if the session storage contains the result dot page, I think we named it, result page with the allocated number, so we'll just put a hash there for a reminder. Then we update it, we just update it with the session data. Otherwise, we call the API, or call our app script side of things. So let's do that now. Let's go const page session storage key. So we need to identify our page session storage key, which is going to be basically this. So we can say our page session storage key we would like to see is going to look like the sesh.results page, and then appended to it will be the next page. Now we're going to check to see if that exists. Go const data string is equal to session storage dot get item page session storage key. Nice. And now we need to check if that exists. So if there's a string in there, there's data in there, we know it exists, right? So we can say if the response data string is faulty, then we're going to return another function here, which is going to do the same thing, or very similar to our onSubmit. So let's just call this get next page search results next page, and we're going to make a call like we did with the search, but we'll handle that in a second. Let's just finish this function off because it's not too big. Then we want, if we already have the data, we just want to insert our search results that we already have. So we can go const response data is equal to JSON.parse our response data string here that we've already stored. And then we are going to use the insert that we just created before, search results. We're going to stringify that because that's what it's expecting. Dot stringify, and it should also be in an object, I think, too. So we'll call this resp dot response data, and that should just bring it up. Cool. Hit save. Let's put a bunch of stuff in here. Go search, and let's just do a little test here. We'll just get the current one. We'll say, grab this just quickly, put this here, and we'll just change this to the page. And we'll just comment this out for the time being. Save. Just want to test for this insert text results. No data here because that needs to be this. Hit save. Just making sure our JSON passes properly. Okay, hit search. Then that takes us to the next page, which is going to be the same. And that will continue across. And it's reading the page number, which it says it's page 1, so that's okay. Okay, so we know that's working. We can get rid of that little test now. And we'll bring this back. Oops, not this bit. And let's uncomment this as well. Okay, what have we got next? Let's do the same thing for our previous page. So we can basically copy everything inside of here and whack that in and just make some minor alterations. Page is okay. Then we just want the previous page. And let's just rename that. And that's our previous page cared for now. Cool. And let's go up. And maybe we need to handle for this get next page search results. And because it's going after the add or search, which is search shows basically, let's put it in after here. Okay. This is going to be another little cheeky function. And all we need to do is get the current query that's provided. So get current query that we've already stored in our session. So we can say const session storage, get item, and that's going to be our sesh dot query. Oh, let's call it query. Got ahead of ourselves, didn't we? Okay, so I think we missed something here. So one thing we need to do is add in a page number. So we're going to search by the page number. If you remember from our Apps Script side of things, we can do a search and then have an additional page number to allow us to look at the next page. So we need to bring that page number across. So we'll say page num. Just head down to our previous and next functions. Oh, we've already done that. So our previous page here, good. And then our next page. So they're all ready to be loaded in. Nice. So now let's just build an object that we can send back to Google Apps Script in a payload. And we'll call that, we'll say JSON.stringify query, page, on page num, and Google, we're going to do our Google script run, doobly do, which is exactly the same as what we're going to do here. And might even just run our test here as well. Nice. So if we do the search, search, it's going to do the next page, which is just magically getting the next bit of data, which you can see just popped up here. And that'll count through as we go. Nice. Okay. Where we are. So our next page search, get next search results is working great. You know, we're almost ready to take this back to Google Apps Script land. But there are a few things we need to do first. So as you can see, we've done this search for shows, but we've done have we done it with success handler? Insert search results? Yes, but we haven't done a failure handler on search failure. So we need to build that function just in case something goes wrong in our code, we can warn about it. So let's do that. And that's going to take an error object. And this is failures that occur in the script from the Apps Script side of things. Now you may choose to not include this or create your own warning for it, but because it's a home tool, it's good for me to see what the errors are easily. So let's say we want to add this to the results wrapper in here. Const results wrapper is equal to document.get element by ID results wrapper, and we want to create an error message. So error messages is equal to, we'll have our list item and then the error inside it. So to say li plus e plus and then li close, and then const error div equal to div class equal to errors. Remember, we already created that for our CSS. That and close it. And actually, let's provide backticks here. Don't need that last one then. Go on the next line. On paragraph tag, error, colon, G. Following errors were encountered. Ooh. Then ordered lists. Should probably close that p tag. Be professional, eh? So ordered list. Then we'll put in our errors, error message. And then we'll close our div. And that's it for the error. Okay, so then we need to add that to our results wrapper. It's equal to our error div. And then we want our toggle loading overlay, and then we'll return. So I'll close that all off and it's done. Because remember, when things start, we have a loading overlay, and when things close, we need that loading overlay to finish. Okay, so let's also we have the condition. So when we've got a show, let's do this quickly, and we want to add Mr. Robot here. We've got our overlay, and we need the condition on yes as well. So I believe that was addShow. Let's just have a check for that one. F addShow. Yeah. So this one here. Okay, good. So we need to make this function as well. Let's crack on with that. So function addShow. And on addShow, we need to send that to Google Apps Script side. So we need to toggle the overlay, the loading overlay. We also, because we've got this dialog here, we need to toggle this off. So toggle confirmation overlay. So that needs to be turned off as well. This needs to be turned on. And then we need to get the show ID. So const session storage get item sesh dot show ID on there. And we'll call it show ID is equal to. And then we'll call Google script run. And we'll do it with success handler. And that's going to be close. So it's going to be a special function that goes close. And then with failure handler. Oh, we didn't put a dot there because we're silly sausages. There we go. With failure handler, we want to add our onSearchFailure. And when it's run, we want to go back into our app script and look for addShow. And that's going to take our show ID. Let's hit save. Do some blah, blah, blah. We'll add something. Yes, we should get an arrow saying, hey, this Google script run stuff doesn't work. Google is not defined. Perfect. That's exactly what we want. Great. Is there anything we need to do before we can ship it back to Google Apps Script? Well, let's go at the top. We can remove, I think, everything in our results data. We don't need that. I think our results wrapper is good. So we'll do this, we'll keep this class result here as a little tool tip basically. Get rid of this and get rid of this. And we don't have an ID initially, but we will put in a little tooltip in italics that says search for a show. Exclamation mark because we're excited. Cool. And our next page we don't want to see initially, so we'll mark them hidden. And hidden. So if those are hidden, we'll hit save, see what happens. Search for a show. Good. Blah, blah, blah. Search. Things have popped up. Excellent. You can choose a show. You can read more. If there is more. Excellent. I think we're okay. Migration time. So we've saved, and I'm going to use class push, or if you're not using clasp, you can copy and paste things over as you please. Cool. All right, so let's head back to our shows. So you should now see your app script. Search shows HTML is filled out. And there's a couple of things we need to change out here. We've got some testing stuff in we need to get rid of. I need to get rid of this test. Same with this one. Okay, we're good. We'll get rid of this shows data in a moment. Hit save. Now let's go and have a look at our shows. Let's split this into two screens first. Okay, we can give it a spin. I don't think we've connected things yet, so we're likely to have an error. Oh, there we go. Our search shows has appeared, but don't think we've created our search for shows yet. Oh, we need to put our CSS in the correct location as well. Let's mosey on up to here, and we'll close this for now. Move this over a smidge. So let's grab this style all the way up to, I'm going to grab all this here, and we'll grab that, Control X, and we'll put that into our CSS HTML. Yeah. Save. Now we're just checking our add shows. We're in search shows here. We've got this includes already. So that should already work with the styling. Let's have a quick look. Did we add an include? No, we didn't. So let's do that very briefly. So here instead, we're going to add some scriptlets. Now scriptlets, as I mentioned before, allow us to add in data from our Google Apps Script, and it'll sort of build and combine files together to create the front-end HTML before serving it to the user. And we're going to use this type of scriptlet here and allow us to execute our function, and this will be to include. And what do we want to include? The CSS file. Now we need to close it off with a question mark, close brackets, save. Okay, I think that should run it. Search shows, see what happens. Reference error include INCLUDE. Try that again, Smith. Okay. Okay, conditional formatting's there, it's looking good. Good bunch of stuff. Excellent. All right, so now we need to initiate this search. We should get an error if this occurs. I'll spin endlessly. Yep, so reference uncore insert search results is not defined. Yep. Don't we know it? So that's what we're going to make next. And that's in our add shows section here. Oh, sorry, it's in our search shows section here. And just looking, you can see that it's not defined. That actually should have been picked up. So I can see here we've made mistakes. So let's just change F2 this, insert search results here, and hit enter. Okay, and we should get a different type of error now. Bing, bing, bing. Okay, Google script run. Here we go. This is the error we're hoping for. Back to search shows. Search for shows is what we're looking for here. So we need to create that now. Okay, and that's going to take our payload from that modal. Let's add in some notes. Okay, so it's going to search the selected show. It's going to take the entity here, this event here, this query, and the event page. There's two values. And here we go, const data is equal to JSON.parse e const search results is equal to shows API, what we're getting here. And we can use our search shows. And what does that take? It takes, guess what? It takes a search string and a page number if we've got one. Pass in our data.query and our data.page. Yay. And may as well give that a console log. JSON, this is going to be the payload that comes through. .stringify our search results. And we're actually going to return it. How simple is that? .stringify search results. And that should feed back in. So let's have a go. Let's give it a spin. Let's go manage search shows. Type in robot. Hit enter. Oh, we've got some shenanigans going on here because I think we've still got the function that reads from our local data set, which is not what we want right now. So let's remedy that. Head over to here, Search shows, one that shows data. So we're not having this happen anymore. Make things occur twice. I'll give that another spin. Let's say robot again. Okay, so this insert search results, search shows right now we don't need. Just comment that out before we delete it. Go to manage shows, search. Let's put something different in our search, star for example. Should be plenty of star shows. Star Trek specifically. Cool. So we got a list of star shows. Oh, we've got a couple of weird things going on here. Let's have a look at the image address very quickly. Just copy that. Oh, responding as null for that image. So it doesn't exist, and we want on the condition if that doesn't exist, then we just want to replace it with our own little cheeky logo. So maybe at this load point, so we know this worked. Let's get rid of that. With this image, hey? Okay, so let's change this to an image. So, because what we did is this is just putting in the path, but we want the actual image. So let's call this image. Get rid of that. We want the image URL. Plus this. Get rid of this. I think we're okay. Okay. Oh, star, didn't we say? No, did the opposite condition. If the post path, if we're not posted path, then do the thing. Okay. One day we'll get there. Now we're cooking. Okay, if it doesn't turn up, little Yagisanatode pops his head in. Let's look up star for now. Okay, so if we page to the next one. Okay, so, we've got a couple of things. We've got to get rid of this next page search results. We don't want any more. Hit save. Okay, so we'll go up to manage. We'll have a test. Type in star, do a search, should give us a bunch of things. 84, cool. Go to another page. Load this up to page 2. If we go back, it's already preloaded. We'll go another page. Nice, just scroll down. We'll hit, let's add in Star Trek Day. Yes. We've seen it been added, but these should have pinged back to say, hey, we're done. Let's have a quick look. Did get an error. Nothing related to us though. We can have a look at that. And we got Mad TV, which is not what we were thinking. So let's have a look at our code. 4467. Let's just pop in and have a look so it shows again. Say star T this time. Star Trek Day. Just hit F12 to have a look at this one. Okay, so we're missing some numbers here. 2, 3, 4, 4, 6, 9. 4, 4, 6, 9. Ah. So if we just go down, we had planned, I think when we had add shows, let's have a look. Let's see if we can find our show ID store. Oops. So we've got a show ID here. Oh, substring, right. So we want to add in like a ID at the front too. So let's go down, and where we are storing our shows, make this big again. Here we want to add in ID. So that should resolve that. And we're not loading out. So when we load, we want to hit close. And I don't think we've generated close, have we? Control C, Control F, 202 close. Oh, the closest. No. Okay, so let's do that here. So let's say function close. And then we'll go Google script. I think it's Google script host close, isn't it? Script host close. And that'll close the whole dialog. Hit save. Okay. See how we go here. So it shows. Star T. Okay. And let's add Star Trek Day. There it is. Fantastic. No providers for it, that's all right. And apparently there's no hyperlink for it. Okay. Maybe it's one of those like fan fiction ones. Let's find something a bit more reasonable. So it shows something I'm watching at the moment. Magicians. This one here, the magicians. Let's add this one. Should be fairly big. First add. Let's hit add. Yes. It came through nicely. Oh, we've got our hyperlink here. Very good. It's going to go to the magicians. Apple TV is currently being aired on. Even better. And we got last checked. And the last aired date, we've got all our seasons with our drop downs. How good's that, team? Okay, we did it. So, you've got your front end done. Our major dialogue is complete. It's probably the biggest task we're going to have. Let's try only. So I'm not sure about this one. Let's we'll try only and murders. There we go. Only murders in the building. That's pretty good for fuzzy search. Only murders here. So it even does the description for the search. That's pretty cool. And it's page 101, so there's no pagination. So we could add that one in too. Nice. Okay, we are done for this stage. So what's next? So our next tutorial, what we're going to do is create another menu item, which is just going to update this season episode list. So, you know, we've been watching a fair few shows for now. Maybe a new episode of one of our favorite shows has come out and you want to see it updated. So maybe the last air date have changed. Maybe we've got some more episodes that we can watch and we want to see that updated. So that will be in our next tutorial. Now, if you want to know when those next tutorials come out, you can hit that subscribe and then smash that notification bell, and that'll tell you when the next tutorial in this series comes out. Until next time.